The history of impeachments in Texas is pretty easy to sum up. There's the one that's happening right now with Ken Paxton, and there's the story of Ma and Pa Ferguson. That's it. James Edward Ferguson Jr., known as Pa Ferguson, was born near Salado. It's kind of between Belton and Austin. He was elected the 26th governor of Texas in 1915. 2 years later, he's reelected, and the people of Texas seem generally supportive of his job as governor, but the powers that be in Austin were not fans. Governor Pa Ferguson did what a lot of governors have done in every state and every era. They gave politically appointed jobs to their friends, to their donors, to their allies. But Pa Ferguson took it further than that. He held up the funding to the University of Texas until his former intra-party political opponents were fired. Pa Ferguson was indicted and impeached during his second term, and then he was forced to resign and barred from holding further office in Texas. When you make enemies of both political parties, you're in trouble. Is that what Ken Paxton did? Well, hang on, focus, because now it's about to get good. In the 1924 election, just about 100 years ago, there had never been a female governor of any state in the United States. So imagine how wild of an idea it was to see Pa Ferguson's wife, known by her initials M.A., Ma Ferguson, run for governor of Texas. And just because Pa Ferguson is barred from holding office in Texas, that doesn't mean his wife can't be governor, right? Well, Ma and Pa Ferguson campaigned together in an unprecedented 2-for-1 deal, with the whole world seeing right through the facade. But here's the kicker. They go on to win anyway. Ma and Pa Ferguson make history as the first female governor of Texas and the first gentleman of Texas. Their comeback was incredible, hilarious even, but their third term would be their last. A flurry of scandals continued to follow them like Pickpen's dust cloud and Peanuts. Ma and Pa Ferguson lose their election for a fourth term. Yeah, there were some scandals going on there as well. But if you see some parallels to what's going on today, you're not wrong. Ken Paxton has long been the political foe of Democrats in Texas, and there's no doubt his intra-party feud with Speaker of the House Dade Phelan has made him enemies of both parties. Is he guilty of impeachable corruption, or is his behavior something that's commonplace, political patronage? Every state house in the country does this. I don't know. You don't know. And frankly, at this point, it doesn't even matter. His hands are in the fate of politicians now. If things don't work out his way, maybe his wife can run for office next time around. Wouldn't that be a trip?